Hey you guys, hey my YouTube friends, my subscribers. I know you wondering where has Pink Diamond Barbie been? I've been on break, you guys. I've been on break from videos. I had to see about myself because there was some stuff that wasn't right, and I had to see about myself. So I'm coming back, you guys. I'm coming back. I've been doing animated videos. I hope you guys been watching. I'll be making some more of those videos. If you want to see some more of what you like, just inbox me of an anime that you would like to see, and I will fix it for you. Yeah, I will be coming back full force, so I hope you guys ready. I'm ready to talk about some real stuff, because lately I've been seeing some stuff, and it's time to speak up on it. I'm not going to speak on it right now. I'm not going to make the topic. It's just going to be a surprise. So I just wanted you guys to know that Pink Diamond Barbie is coming back. Yeah, she's coming back. But yeah, coming back for you guys. And I'll be making some videos, so I hope you guys are ready. Like, really, seriously, I hope you guys are ready. Bye.